Obama's net worth and lavish lifestyle. Barack Obama's net worth isn't just a result of one massive book deal. It's the product of a decade spent turning influence into income. Today, we're breaking down what transformed Obama from a former president into a media powerhouse, best-selling author, and global speaker, and why his wealth shows how legacy can become a long-term business. And before we get into the mansions and private travel, let's talk about how Obama's money story grew from modest beginnings to a multi-million-dollar reality. Which income streams actually fuel his fortune? The royalties, the speeches, or the media empire? And what do his homes and lifestyle choices reveal about how he lives with that wealth? Let's dive in. Barack Obama's rise didn't begin with power or wealth. It started with a childhood shaped by movement, culture, and a strictly middle-class reality. Born in Honolulu in 1961, he grew up between Hawaii and Indonesia, raised mostly by his mother and grandparents. Nothing in those early years hinted he would one day build a financial portfolio and fortune worthy of a former world leader. But the foundation was there: discipline, curiosity, and a belief in education as the great equalizer. By the time he became a young lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School, Obama was earning what most would consider modest academic pay. Even during his years in the Illinois State Senate, he wasn't living the life of a celebrity politician. Reports estimate that, combined with Michelle's income, the Obamas were comfortable, but far from wealthy. In fact, they were still paying off student loans well into their 30s. His financial picture didn't meaningfully shift until his writing career took shape. Dreams from My Father, originally published in 1995, didn't make him rich overnight, but it planted the seed. It was the re-release, amid his growing political presence, that brought in real sales. Then came The Audacity of Hope in 2006, the book that officially launched Obama into high-earning author territory, bestseller lists, speaking invitations, royalty checks that dwarfed his Senate salary. And while being President of the United States is the most powerful job in the country, it's not the most lucrative. His presidential salary was fixed at $400,000 a year, comfortable, but nowhere near the vast income streams that would follow. What that job really gave him was global visibility and the leverage to build something far bigger once he left office. Because when the official role ended, the real financial journey began. Once his term in the Oval Office ended, Barack Obama flipped the switch from public servant to income-generating powerhouse. His financial transformation kicked off with a blockbuster publishing moment. In 2017, the Obamas landed a combined book deal reportedly worth $65 million. Setting a new record in the nonfiction world. That deal alone didn't just pay bills. It opened doors to royalty streams that continue today. But books were only the launch point. Obama and Michelle co-founded Higher Ground Productions in 2018, stepping into the media arena with a mission and a business. With deals for Netflix and Audible, the Obamas positioned themselves as producers, not just personalities, creating content that adds to their financial footprint. By 2025, estimates placed the Obamas' combined net worth at around $70 million, a figure built far beyond that presidential salary. That sum reflects multiple revenue paths: best-selling books, high-dollar speaking engagements, media deals, and smart investment moves. All components of a modern wealth strategy. The White House paycheck ended in 2017, but the streams of revenue didn't. For someone with global name recognition, Barack Obama's lifestyle is surprisingly measured, yet unmistakably elevated. And that balance between comfort and restraint is a major part of how he maintains a public image built on dignity, not excess. His real estate footprint reflects that mix perfectly. The Obamas' longtime anchor is their home in Chicago's Kenwood neighborhood, a property they held on to even after leaving Washington, grounding them in the city where Barack built his early career. But their most talked about home is the sprawling estate on Martha's Vineyard, purchased in 2019. It sits on nearly 30 acres, with sweeping views of the Atlantic and space that feels more like a private retreat than a simple vacation house. It's an upgrade from the summer estate they'd previously frequented on the island, a residence that later sold for $37 million, but still consistent with the quiet, family-oriented living environment the Obamas favor. Even when the public glimpses moments of luxury, it's often tied to his role rather than his personal indulgence. Whether it was the cost of inaugurations or the inevitable attention surrounding presidential travel, Obama lived in a world of high-visibility expenses long before he even signed a book deal. Those weren't purchases, they were the price of the job. And ironically, those experiences built a certain discipline, one that keeps his lifestyle polished but not gaudy. Today, he flies commercially or via arrangements tied to speaking events, not on some personal jet splashed across tabloids. His spending leans toward experiences, family, philanthropy, and development projects, not showy collections or headline-grabbing splurges. That's why terms like modern presidential wealth suit him more than luxury mogul. His image isn't anchored in extravagance. It's anchored in intention. Because for Obama, wealth's real power isn't in the shine. It's in what it allows him to build. Long before the lifestyle headlines or book deals, Obama's story carried a consistent thread, a belief that leadership means lifting others with you. That same focus shaped his path after leaving the White House, where philanthropy became one of his most defining pursuits. When the Obama Foundation launched in 2014, it wasn't designed to be a vanity project or a retirement hobby. It was built with a simple but massive goal: to inspire, empower, and connect the next generation of leaders. And that mission turned into one of the most ambitious civic products in modern American history, the creation of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. Not just a museum, but a living campus meant to train future changemakers, backed by a fundraising target of over $1.6 billion. And the support? Huge. Tech giants, celebrities, and global philanthropists stepped in, including a jaw-dropping $100 million donation from Jeff Bezos, one of the largest gifts in the foundation's history. That money fuels programs that stretch far beyond Chicago, like My Brother's Keeper Alliance, which focuses on expanding education and economic opportunity for boys and young men of color, one of the issues Obama championed while in office, or the Girls' Opportunity Alliance, helping fund education for young women around the world. These aren't symbolic gestures. They're fully funded, carefully designed programs with measurable outcomes: scholarships, fellowships, leadership training, and community partnerships that reach across continents. And Obama doesn't just sign checks from afar. He shows up, whether it's joining former presidents for the One America appeal to raise relief funds after Hurricanes Harvey and Maria, or quietly spending Thanksgiving helping unpack boxes at the Chicago Food Depository. He continues engaging in hands-on service long after leaving office. But with any large-scale initiative comes scrutiny. Critics have questioned how some foundation funds were routed, including money sent to outside grant-making groups. Others have raised concerns about whether the Obama Presidential Center will reshape parts of Chicago in ways that benefit or burden local communities. It's a reminder that even philanthropy, especially at this scale, isn't free from debate. Still, the impact is hard to deny, because Obama's charity work isn't about a single moment. It's about building an infrastructure of service that will outlive him, a leadership pipeline, a global network, a physical institution dedicated to civil action. It's the long game, and it's central to how he wants to be remembered. And while his foundation builds change in the world, his lifestyle back home reveals another side of how he manages and enjoys the wealth behind it. For someone whose life has included motorcades, flashing lights, and a security bubble the size of a small city, Barack Obama's personal car story is surprisingly understated. Even after leaving office, there's no garage full of exotics, no hypercar fleet, no paparazzi shots of million-dollar toys. Instead, the vehicles tied to Obama paint a picture that matches the rest of his lifestyle. Intentional, thoughtful, and never louder than the message he wants to send. The one exception, and probably the most famous vehicle ever associated with him, is Cadillac One, the presidential limo the world nicknamed the Beast. During his time in office, this wasn't just transportation. It was a fortress on wheels, built on a GMC Top-Kick chassis with doors as heavy as a Boeing jet, Kevlar reinforced tires, night vision cameras, and even an internal oxygen system. Every time Obama climbed in, it wasn't about luxury, it was about survival. But step outside the White House years, and the story changes completely. Before his presidency, Obama drove a 2005 Chrysler 300C, the kind of comfortable, roomy sedan you'd expect from someone balancing a young family and a rising political career. Later, he moved to a 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid, a practical and fuel-efficient SUV that fit his environmental stance long before clean energy became a trend. And long before either of those, back in his early years, he reportedly owned a Jeep Grand Cherokee, the classic no-nonsense American family workhorse. None of these cars scream celebrity lifestyle. They don't even whisper it. And that's the point. Obama's choices show a pattern. He wasn't buying cars to impress anyone. He wasn't chasing flash. He was choosing reliability, efficiency, and purpose. Even off-camera, his spending leaned towards sustainability and security, not spectacle. In a world where many public figures show wealth through horsepower and chrome, Obama showed his through something else entirely: restraint. In the end, Barack Obama's wealth didn't define him. It simply revealed the power of a life built on purpose, discipline, and impact. And that's why his story isn't finished yet.